Hey everybody, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So, I am really looking forward to this conversation. I think it's going to be really helpful for us. And if it is helpful for you, then I think we should do this like on a monthly basis. Okay? So, we'll look at the comments. If we get a lot of people interested in hearing the big picture about all the things that Dumpy has been doing and how much of it has actually taken hold, his executive orders, his proclamations, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to look at actual numbers, and then we're going to ask the Spirit Guides, the Lead Team Collective, for the truth on a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay? So Mabel, my AI, pulled together the facts for me. And then, like I said, we have the questions and then we'll end with some spiritual questions at the end. All right. So the Trump administration has issued over 300 executive orders, memoranda, and proclamations in 2025. Okay. So it's been 8.5 months well, no, 8 months, about 8 months. Yeah. Almost 8 months to the day. So about 300. Okay. And it seemed, well, it's hard to know. It seems like even more than that because of all the stuff that they keep putting out there, right? And all the speculations and whatever, all the little details you hear about things. It just feels like a lot, doesn't it? So the numbers alone don't tell the truth. How much of this is really changing America and how much is just smoke and mirrors? Okay, that's what we want to look at today. Okay, so let's separate actually what's actively going on, what's been rolled out, and what's pending from all the things he's trying or his group is trying. I even hate to even reference him because I don't even think any of this is coming from him personally. Okay, just a reminder that this is entertainment only. Oh my gosh. That is so crazy. Yes, that was a blooper, and everything is alleged. So, except for these facts, these are factual. Mabel went out and got me the facts. Okay. All right. So, just a reminder, the directives issued in 2025 so far, 188 executive orders, 47 Miranda. I don't even know really the difference between these, but it doesn't really matter right now. And 79 proclamations. That's a total of 314. Okay, so 314 total. What's currently active? What's operational? Okay, that's what we're going to talk about. So there's 5 things that are currently happening. Okay, these are policies currently happening, which means money is spent, troops deployed, and facilities opened. Okay, 5 out of the 314. 5. Okay. That's just really helpful for us to keep in mind, okay? So foreign aid freeze, court allowed Trump's pause on billions in aid. It's happening now. Mother effers. CFPB restructuring. Downsizing and layoffs have begun at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I mean, you can't make this up. The consumer, think about what that is. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Okay, so that's downsizing and laying off. So would love to know what his plan is for that. That would be an interesting separate video because I'm just really kind of curious about this topic to find out what the truth is about that. So I'm just copying and pasting so I remember. Okay, number 3, ICE expansion. Fort Bliss Detention Center opened, capacity growing towards 107,000 beds. Local police deputized under ICE. Okay, now I have an ICE video that's very interesting that gets to the facts about things that will help you understand that yes, they are moving along, but how much more is it than what the Biden administration was doing? I know it looks more violent and things are being reported that way, but we want to make sure we're getting accurate information. Okay, so I will do an ICE one in the next couple days. Okay, because I think that would be very helpful for us. Okay, 4, National Guard deployment to DC. Troops from multiple states are already mobilized. Okay, we actually did this video. I will post it right here. The SGs, the lead team collective, answered questions about the real reason why they're in DC. And it's not what you think. So watch that video. I'll post it at the end of this video. I'll post right here. Okay. Education civil rights shift. Department of Education now prioritizing conservative complaints over DEI cases. Okay. That's it. Those 5 things are currently going on. Okay. So in the rollout, legally cleared, being prepared. So now there's 3 more. Okay, so now we're talking 8 out of the 314. Tariff change, de minimis rule, duty-free $800 import rule ends August 29th. Duty-free $800 import rule ends August 29th. U.S. Customs preparing enforcement. Okay, that's minor. For me, it is. I don't, unless you tell me otherwise, feels a little minor to me. Apprenticeship and workforce training EO. New vocational programs expanding, early rollout, but yet not nationwide. Okay, I mean, I don't have any problem with that. New vocation programs. Okay. Supply chain and competition executive orders. So that's what EO stood for. Directives guiding agencies on pharma supply, space industry competition, and trade retaliation with China. So directives guiding, she was doing this in the last video. She's for the corner. Directives guiding agencies on pharma supply. So supply chain and competition, EO. Okay, so I don't have too much more detail on that. So pending, 3 more. So again, out of the 314, we have 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, again, pretty small number. Small number considering how much hype there's been on all the things, right? And that's what we're trying to keep in mind. Come here, Lucy. Let's see if she'll come over this time. In my video a couple days ago, we were doing this. Lucy, you know, she actually, when I talk to, she is why she's talking to me. Hi. 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 All right, I might have to pause if she's going to keep going. She might. Okay, pending, announced, uncertain, or speculative. Okay. These are political announcements or draft ideas, not yet operational. Voting restrictions. Okay, this one's a big one. She came over. Come say hi. Yeah. Yeah. She just wants a little attention. Hi. Hi. There we go. Okay, so voting restrictions. So let's pay really close attention to this one. Executive order. Attempts to curb mail-in ballots and machines. Authority highly questionable, facing immediate challenges. Okay. Cannabis reclassification. Trump considering moving cannabis to Schedule 3, still under review, not yet policy. I don't know anything about that. And I could ask AI for more detail, but you could look that up too, is just if you're interested in that, what is cannabis? What is cannabis? What is Schedule 3 and what's Trump's purpose of moving that? Okay. Okay. Children's Health MAHA draft, MAHA. Draft plan with mild reforms, pesticides and vaccines, not official policy yet. Okay. So we're going to get to the questions in just a minute. Blocked and reversed, things that were blocked and reversed. DEI crackdown in schools. Federal court struck it down. Okay. DC police takeover scaled back to liaison role after legal challenge. Did you guys know that? Maybe you have. I hadn't heard that. Earlier sweeping tariffs declared unconstitutional. We don't even know how much the tariffs, in fact, is that on my list? How much the tariffs, how does that not on my list? Thought I did I already record that? I need one on the tariffs. Oh yeah, I do have one on the tariffs. I do have one coming up on the tariffs. Okay. So now I gotta find myself back to so we're gonna find out really what's going on with the tariffs so we don't have to, he made it sound, yeah, I mean, prices are going up. There's no doubt about it. But the question is, are they going up because of the tariffs or because, companies are taking advantage? They do that. I hate to say it, but I hate to be skeptical on this kind of stuff, but my eyes are open now, unfortunately. Fortunately. I think we do have to get our eyes open. Okay, the litigation landscape, 380. Remember, there's 314, let's just say executive orders, okay? 380 active cases challenging administration actions, 25 permanently blocked, 77 temporarily blocked, 17 blocked pending appeal, 34 proceeding pending appeal, 38 injunctions denied, 11 mixed outcomes, 148 awaiting rulings, and 7 in Trump's favor. Out of 380, 7 in his favor. Okay, this is really helpful, isn't it? I really needed to hear this. I'm a big picture person. I was getting caught in the weeds for the last 8 months, but now we know what the big picture is. Because now we have all this data from 8.5 months, right? Now we're looking at what's real, what actually happened. Okay. The Supreme Court ruling on June 27th weakened nationwide injunctions, letting more policies operate while lawsuits continue, though. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so the 5D perspective, because we are working on going from 3D to 5D, right? Moving ourselves there. From 3D, this looks like chaos, hundreds of orders, lawsuits, and partial wins. But with 5D, it shows alignment. What is rooted in fear and control may move forward temporarily, but what doesn't resonate with love, justice, and higher truth will not last. How cool is that? Okay, so hang on to that. So from the 5D, it shows alignment because of all the orders and the lawsuits and the partial wins. Okay, remember, he only won 7 so far. That's incredible. And this is updated as of today. Actually, okay, so I'm recording this on the 18th, okay? So it is updated as of today on August 18th, okay? I think it's going to go out on the 20th, okay? Okay, so from 5D, it shows alignment. What is rooted in fear or control may move forward temporarily, but what doesn't resonate with love, justice, and higher truth will not last. The collapse of some policies reflect the collective saying no. Okay? It's really good. It's really good. What I would be interested to know, I don't know if you would be, but I would be interested to know how much of these, how similar is this to what Hitler was doing in the 30s? I don't know. I'd be kind of curious to know that, like do a comparison. So Trump's, I'm just going to make a quick note. Trump's first 8.5 months to Hitler in early 30s. My husband's up. Wouldn't it be a little interesting to know did Hitler have all this pushback during that time? Or not, I'm just kind of curious. And yeah, I am comparing the two. Yeah, at least the early stages. Yes, I am comparing the two. I'm educated that way. I know the similarities. We studied World War II a lot, actually, even in grad school. I have a master's in public administration, so ethics was a huge part of our conversation, and my ethics teacher actually used World War II and the Holocaust as instruction, which is really interesting, isn't it? My ethics teacher. Okay. So, all right. Never went into politics, though, for good reasons. Okay, let's ask the lead team. Lead team, are you ready to answer some questions for us? Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're going to do some like numbers and big pictures, just clarifying first. And then we'll look into the policy. So these are the categories that I have. We'll look at some policies, what's in rollout, what's pending, just to do some clarification on those, okay? And then they'll let us know if Mabel has been correct on this. Blocked policies, impact and consequences, and then spiritual awareness of all this, okay? Okay, so I've got 30 questions. All right, let's see. Let's see what the lead team has to say about this. Okay, question number 1. Has Trump issued over 300 directives this year? Yes. Is it accurate that it is 314 to be exact? As of August 18th? Yes, 2025. Okay. Are only a handful of these directives actually operational today? Yes. Okay. So the data that Mabel gave us is correct on what's operational, what's rolled out. They're not answering very strongly. Is there issue with Mabel's data? No. Okay. All right. Maybe that it was just a little stuck. No? They were saying yes, it is a little stuck. It was just a little stuck. Oh, okay. Sometimes these little things this is completely separate from, but sometimes it just kind of gets a little stuck. So that's why you'll see me go like that. Okay. Do most of his changes still face lawsuits or delays? Yes. Okay. Does the Supreme Court ruling make it easier for his orders to move ahead temporarily? Okay, that's that last thing that I read, that the Supreme Court, while things are in court, he can go ahead. So yes. Okay. Are lawsuits the strongest sign of pushback against his agenda? Yes. Okay, good. All right. Is the foreign aid freeze actively cutting off billions in assistance now? That sucks. Yes. Okay. I'll ask this question, it's not going to be a very fun answer, but is this causing a lot of health issues for people? Yes, to put it mildly. Is it causing a lot of unaliving of people as well? Shoot, yes. Okay. Part of this is looking at what's really going on, so we know, right? Yes, they're saying yes. Do you guys want us to be more conscious and aware of these things? Yes. Okay. Is that an important part of our spiritual journey moving from 3D to 5D is awareness? Yes. Is part of it, I was talking about this in the last video, is part of that in order, like we can't really stand in our truth if we don't know the truth. Is that correct? Yes, because that was kind of the download I was getting from them. I wasn't really hearing it. It's just something I started talking about that I'd never really thought about before. So, okay. Is the CFPB being dismantled right now through layoffs? The CFPB, what was the CFPB again? I just forgot what it is. You guys probably know CFPB. Oh, Consumer Financial Protections Bureau. Okay, so what does that mean exactly? Is that the one that I wanted to copy and see? Yeah. Yeah. See, again, I was interested. I even forgot I put it down and I was interested. I'm like, yeah, I really want to know more background about that and ask the SGs about it. Because like, does that not bother anybody, that financial, protection? Maybe the title is misleading. Maybe, I don't really know, but we're going to find out from AI at some point. I'll do a session on that. Okay, if you guys tell me you're interested in it. Okay. Has ICE expansion already begun with new facilities? I think we know the answer to that. Yes. Is the National Guard currently deployed in DC? Yes. So that's not fake pictures or anything like that? Are those fake pictures we're seeing? No. Okay. Has the Education Department, hang on, let me get that down a little bit. Has the Education Department shifted its civil rights focus away from diversity? Yes. Okay. Will the new tariff rule hit America shoppers after August 29th? Yes. Okay, I will do tariffs soon too. Are apprenticeship and training programs already started under Trump's order? Yes. I just wonder which ones though, you know? That's another one I feel like, let's get to the bottom of that. Like, which ones? Like, I just wonder how manipulative it is. Like, is it really a whole bunch of them to give people choices, or is it like, farming, working in the fields or something? How to be the best vegetable picker, you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I hate to sound crass, but I don't trust them, so we'll find out. We'll find out. This is why I like to do this little series, just to see what's really going on. Are agencies now reshaping policy in response to supply chain and trade directives? Yes. Okay. Is Trump's attempt to restrict mail-in voting legally weak and uncertain? Yes. Good. Is there, I don't even really want to go down the voting route right now because it's just, we are quite a ways away, but, and who knows? I mean, I'm just really counting on Trump not being around and his team not being around. So they're saying yes. So let's not even, I'm not going to worry on my pretty little head about that. Pretty little head. Okay. Is cannabis reclassification still only a proposal under review? Yes. Is the Children's Health MAHA plan only a draft with no force yet? Yes. Okay. All right. Did courts stop the DEI crackdown in schools? Yes. I love it. Crackdown. Let's go after the DEI crackdown in schools, but let's not worry about being boom, 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 boom in schools, right? Let's not worry about that. No, I don't see anything. Anybody see anything about that kind of control? Anything? Nothing. Nothing. I think that whole issue is gonna be a part of this whole moving humans around, because they're moving that stuff around too. So I think that's got to come out too, because that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous that there's no talk of this at all. None. I remember when Scott Walker was the Republican governor in Wisconsin, and that's when, it was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when all of a sudden the law became legal for people to carry firearms, like concealed firearms. And I'm like, I was so horrified. I mean, I was so horrified. I thought, oh my gosh, we are going to be sitting in a restaurant with people who have firearms. And I'm like, I was so horrified. It just went over my head. Like, how did that even get passed? But I was working full time, paying attention there. I wasn't paying attention. Wouldn't have mattered, I guess, if it was at the time, but paying attention now. I don't know. I don't know if it would have helped if I paid attention then. Okay, it's just they got a lot of stuff going like that. That was not in personally what I think is in favor of the people, All right, did legal pressure end Trump's attempt to control DC's police? Wow, yes. Okay, that's kind of an update. Okay, again, this was on the 18th, so it depends on what happens when you listen to this on the 20th, okay? Were sweeping tariffs earlier this year struck down by the courts? Yes. Okay. Will ICE expansion affect immigrant families nationwide? Yes. Okay. Does ending the de minimis tariff rule raise everyday household cost? Yes. Okay. So we don't want that ended, apparently. Will dismantling the CFBP, so the Center for Financial Protection Bureau, reduce protections for consumer and seniors? Again, obvious, but good to know. Yes. And is that the point, is to reduce our protections? Yes. So then the question is why? So I'd like to do a whole session on that. Could mass deportation drive up inflation by reducing the workforce? Yes. I just heard somebody talking. I don't know if I can verify this. So I'd have to, yeah, maybe Mabel could tell us, but that like Texas is so hot and they don't have anybody working in the fields. So I don't know why MAGA's not out there. Hey, if you voted, get your booty out there and pick some vegetables. If you live in Texas and you voted for this, go pick some vegetables. So, and the cattle, I guess they're not, I heard that's kind of sad. Let me find out. So are some farms just kind of drying up in Texas? Yes. So we're going to see some food issues, I think, when it comes to fresh produce. What about cattle? Are the cattle being hurt by this issue? Okay. Ugh. And I'm a meat eater, but I do care, about how animals are treated while they're on Earth. Of course I do. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. Are Trump's economic policies creating more instability than stability? Okay. So this is all kind of things that we were aware of, right? So it's nice to get some confirmation that we're not just hearing things, that this is actually happening. I think that's important to kind of know what sort of the truth is. Okay. So here's some spiritual questions and we'll see if this kind of rounds it out for us. Okay. Are the policies that collapse showing the collective does not consent to them? Yes. Good. Do these events, oh, here's a question. So obviously, that would be like, maybe you'd say that's kind of obvious, but is it vibrational, that the collective vibrationally is rising? Yes. Is the vibration of the collective over all of these things higher than the lower vibration can handle? Yes. Okay, good. Really wide swing on that. They're even crossing over on that, so that's good. Okay, do these events mirror humanity's struggle between freedom and control? Yes. Okay. Is resistance to Trump's agenda part of collective awakening? That's really good, because I did hear somebody talking about that. Okay, are more people awakening than we realize to the shenanigans of this, all these things? Yes. So do we hear more? Is it hard to understand that more people are awakening because of what types of things we hear in the news or hear on YouTube or TikTok or whatever? Yes. Okay. Because all the crap is highlighted, right? Okay. So will policies rooted in fear eventually fall away even if they succeed short term? Yes. Great. Is spirit showing that humanity is learning to say no more powerfully? Yay! So we're standing in our power, you guys. Power to the people. Yes. Okay. Is the higher vibration of humanity rising despite Trump's efforts and all of his people? Yes. Okay, awesome. Okay, so just remember, so in conclusion, Trump has signed over 300 directives, so 314. But only 5 are clearly active, 3 are in rollout, and 3 are pending. Meanwhile, several have been blocked outright. The numbers prove that while the noise is huge, the reality is far smaller. From 3D, this is politics and power. From 5D, this is the story of humanity awakening and learning that only what is aligned with love can last. All right, so hopefully this was helpful. This is helpful for me. So if it's helpful for 5 other people, hopefully at least 5, then it was worth doing. Okay, all right, let me know what you think and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.